Hey, it's Adam Grant from WorkLife, a podcast from TED. This episode is brought to you by Freshworks. Freshworks believes that complexity is the enemy of efficiency. So stop wrestling with bloated, expensive service software that takes forever to implement and update, where ROI is someday, not today. You've been overcharged and underserved for way too long. Uncomplicate with Freshservice for IT and Freshdesk for customer support. And with Freshworks AI-assisted service software, you'll work smarter, not harder. Freshworks uncomplicates. Learn more at freshworks.com.
On today's Smart 7, Police Federation warns of summer violence, Trump ramps up Obama conspiracy and much more. It's Thursday, 24th of July, it's National Cousins Day, and happy birthday, Jennifer Lopez.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
There's increasing concern that the UK could be facing another summer of violence, as far-right protests in Essex have seen police reinforcements drafted in from across the UK. With Donald Trump due to visit Scotland this weekend, and with continued protests in Epping over asylum seekers, tensions appear to be escalating, and the Police Federation are warning they are overstretched. The government has been busy trying to get control of illegal immigration and are currently cracking down on food delivery companies who hire illegal workers. Home Office Minister Seema Malhotra says the rules are being tightened up.
For those who give their accounts to others who have no right to work here, this is a really important change. If you do this, you will be caught.
Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner acknowledged that there is a risk of more public disorder unless the government addresses people's concerns. But new Tory Shadow Housing Secretary James Cleverly says the government are failing to get a grip on the issue.
When we have these incredibly out-of-touch comments by the Prime Minister, when it appears over and over again that the government is on the side of the takers rather than on the side of the people who are really contributing, we shouldn't be surprised if anger boils over.
The head of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, accused Israel of creating mass starvation in Gaza on Wednesday, blaming the ongoing blockade of food aid for the critical situation facing civilians in the territory. Meanwhile, the IDF has continued strikes on Gaza City and northern Gaza, killing at least 21 people on Wednesday. At the United Nations Security Council meeting, Israeli Ambassador Danny Danon took an extraordinary stance.
Israel is making the Middle East safer for everyone who values peace and calm. In other words, we are doing the work of the United Nations.
Riyad Mansour is the permanent observer of Palestine to the United Nations, and he was calling on Western nations to take action to stop the suffering.
Are Palestinian lives not worth saving, or does Israeli supremacy extend as far as conferring upon a right of life and death over the Palestinian people as a whole?
The British Medical Association confirmed on Wednesday evening that the 5-day resident doctors' strike is due to go ahead from Friday. They say they've had no choice other than to continue with the planned action after Health Secretary Wes Streeting declined to make any significant additional pay offer. The doctors had been looking for a 29% pay rise in a bid to make up for pay cuts they say they've experienced since 2008, but they've already received a 22% rise and the public mood seems to have shifted. Dr. Melissa Ryan is the co-chair of BMA Resident Doctors Committee, and she says it's disappointing that the government hasn't engaged.
Sadly, we didn't receive a credible offer at all. We didn't receive any offer. We just received a promise for more talks, and that wasn't sufficient to allow them to call off the strikes.
The Wall Street Journal published more revelations about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein on Wednesday, reporting that Trump's name appears multiple times in the much-discussed files. Trump is already suing the Journal, along with owner Rupert Murdoch, for $10 billion and has been busy trying to distract his base from any further discussion of the Epstein story. Instead, Trump and his Republican allies, including Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and Fox News, have been busy spinning a story that Obama was involved in a coup attempt against Trump. Despite the fact that the Supreme Court has ruled presidents have immunity, there's been increasing hysteria over the accusations from many of the same people involved in Trump's actual coup attempt on January 6th. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was calling for action against the Democrats.
He wants to see all those who perpetuated this fraud against our country to be thoroughly investigated and held accountable. And many of the people who perpetuated this hoax have been hired by major networks in this room to go on television and continue to spew these lies.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro, Marcus Rashford packs his bags and Sandra Oh gets biblical on CBS. Right after this.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're crushing morning miles or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
Welcome back.
The Lionesses will face Spain on Sunday in the Euro final after an extra-time winner avoided penalties and handed Spain a 1-0 victory. With just over 3 weeks to go until the Premier League gets underway, various clubs have been busy buying, selling and releasing players on loan. Manchester United striker Marcus Rashford fell out of favour with manager Ruben Amorim and spent a chunk of last season on loan at Aston Villa, but he's lined up a slightly more glamorous setting for next season. He's joined Barcelona for a season-long loan and was unveiled on Wednesday night, picking 14 as his squad number. Former Barcelona player Gary Lineker reckons it could be a good move.
I think it's such a great challenge for him. Yes, they've got brilliant players and it'd be tough to play regularly, but there's so many games that they play now, and they've got a front three obviously, but you can't play 3 players every game in and out.
This week has seen shockwaves in the US media industry as the impact of Donald Trump begins to be felt. He's already successfully sued ABC and CBS, and he has an Epstein-related $10 billion lawsuit pending against the Wall Street Journal. His victory over CBS and their parent company Paramount, who are seeking to merge with a company called Skydance, appears to have resulted in the termination of late-night host Stephen Colbert. CBS announced this week that The Late Show would finish up in May next year, sparking outrage from comedians in Hollywood, but delight from Trump. Jon Stewart, Adam Sandler and others have offered support, but only Sandra Oh brought the gift of biblical vengeance.
To CBS and Paramount, a plague on both of your houses.
I'm very grateful.
Yes.
I think you've been great partners.
Yes. No, and also a pox on all those they serve.
Everyone loves a true story, especially when it comes to sports, and there's a new movie on the way which tells the story of Prince Nassim Hamed and how he rose from humble beginnings in Sheffield to become champion of the world. The movie is exec produced by none other than Sylvester Stallone, a man who knows his boxing, and it stars Amir El Masri as Naz and Pierce Brosnan as Irish trainer Brendan Ingle. Don't worry, Pierce has dialed back his crazy Irish accent from Mobland. Giant is written and directed by Rowan Athaley, who was behind Gangs of London, and it hits cinemas in October.
Boxing's no longer for old men in suits. It's for boys that want the swagger, the razzmatazz.
The razzmatazz.
That show you put on? The whole bloody country's talking about you.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
And now, a next-level moment from AT&T Business. Say you've sent out a gigantic shipment of pillows, and they need to be there in time for International Sleep Day. You've got AT&T 5G, so you're fully confident. But the vendor isn't responding, and International Sleep Day is tomorrow. Luckily, AT&T 5G lets you deal with any issues with ease, so the pillows will get delivered and everyone can sleep soundly, especially you. AT&T 5G requires a compatible plan and device. Coverage not available everywhere. Learn more at att.com/5G network.